Hey everyone, welcome back to Handling Interruptions Without Losing Your Point. I'm Zach, and I'm here with my co-host and good friend Emily. We're happy you're with us today.
Hi, I'm Emily. If you enjoy learning through real conversations, hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Today we're talking about interruptions, the kind that happen in meetings, calls, or even at dinner.
Interruptions aren't always rude. Sometimes they're about energy, excitement, or time pressure. But when they break your flow, your idea gets lost. So we'll share ways to keep your message clear and your tone respectful.
Quick story. Last week on a team call, I was sharing an update when my manager jumped in with a question. I paused, smiled, and said, "I'll be quick. Let me finish this point, then I'll come to that." That helped me hold the floor, which means keeping your turn to speak without sounding pushy.
That pause was smart. I had a cafe chat where a friend kept adding ideas on top of mine. I used signposting, like first the timeline, then the budget. Signposting means guiding the listener with clear markers so they know where you're going.
Tone is everything. A gentle voice and a short breath before you continue can soften the moment. Sometimes I touch the table lightly to ground myself, then finish the sentence. It keeps me steady and stops me from sounding annoyed.
And language choices matter. "Can I jump in?" sounds collaborative. "Don't interrupt me" can feel sharp. Another helpful phrase is, "I'll come back to you in a second," which respects the other person while protecting your thought.
So, here's our plan for today. Keep your turn when you need it, interject politely when it's your moment, and smoothly return to your main point if the conversation drifts. 3 skills, 1 calm voice.
As you listen, think of a recent moment when someone cut you off, or when you cut someone off. What happened to the idea? We'll help you build a toolkit you can use this week at work or at home.
If you like taking notes, write 1 phrase that feels natural to you. Not 10, just 1. A single comfortable line works better than a long script you'll forget under pressure.
And hey, if this show helps you, subscribe and share it with a friend who talks over you. Lovingly, of course. Sometimes people don't realize they're doing it until we model a better way.
Okay, that's our warm-up. Next, we'll dig into phrases and strategies you can use in meetings and everyday chats. Simple language, confident delivery. Ready? Let's get into it.
Let's dig a little deeper into the exact words that help you keep your turn. Yesterday in a stand-up, someone jumped in mid-sentence, and I lifted a hand slightly and said, "One moment, let me finish this thought," then wrapped up my sentence. It sounded calm, not defensive.
In a client presentation, I used signposting. Here's the timeline, then the risks. When my client cut in, I smiled and said, "Before we move on, just to finish the timeline," and completed it. Signposting means guiding listeners with clear markers.
How slow do you go with that line? I've found that when I say it with steady pace and a downward tone at the end, people naturally pause and give space.
Same here. I keep an anchor phrase ready. So, to wrap this part, an anchor is a stable phrase you return to. I even jotted on a sticky note before big meetings.
On a call last month, I tried a quick empathy plus boundary sandwich. "I hear you. I'll come back to that in a second. Just to finish this piece." Boundary just means a polite limit that protects your idea.
Short sentences help too. When I feel overlap coming, I split my point. 2 quick points. First, second. Overlap is when 2 people speak at the same time. Breaking it up gives you control without sounding strict.
On video, body language matters. I lean slightly toward the camera and use a small finger raise. Then I add a finisher tag like, "And that's the key point." That tag is a cue, a gentle signal you're closing.
Family dinner test. My cousin loves to jump in. I said, "Hold that thought, I'm almost done," with a smile. It worked because the smile softened the boundary, and I finished my point.
Quick recap. We used, "One moment, let me finish." "Before we move on, I'll come back to that." "Just to finish." An anchor like "to wrap this part," and "two quick points." Different paths, same goal. Keep your turn kindly.
Would you ever add the timing trick, like, give me 10 seconds? I like it when time is tight. It reassures people you won't speak forever.
Listen to the tone shift. "Just a moment. I'll finish this point, then I'm all yours." Slower start, soft stress on finish and point, and a friendly rise on yours. It keeps confidence without edge.
Another small tool is a hedge, a softener. I'll say, quick note, or briefly, before my sentence. Hedge just means language that reduces force, so people relax and give space.
If someone still pushes through, I pair acknowledgement with structure. "I get that concern. Let me finish this sentence, then I'll come straight to you." Acknowledge plus structure usually resets the rhythm.
Try choosing one anchor phrase for this week. Write it down, say it out loud once or twice, and keep it ready. The simpler it is, the easier it is to use under pressure.
Let's talk about entering a conversation without stepping on toes. In yesterday's sprint review, a point was getting lost, so I leaned in and said, "Very quick one, may I add something?" Then I paused 2 beats. That small question plus the pause opened space. I kept it brief and linked to the last speaker.
In a community workshop, the facilitator moved fast. I raised a hand. Quick thought, may I add something? I used her name first. Sarah, quick thought. Interject simply means enter briefly. The name, a softener like quick or brief, and a gentle rise in tone make room without pressure.
I like the name plus soft verb pattern. Maya, I'd love to build on that. Build on means connect and add, not replace. On remote calls, I say, jumping in briefly, building on Maya's point, and I lower my tone at the end. Emily, how do you signal you'll be concise?
On video, I use a tiny cue. Unmute, lean forward, then, very briefly, 2 lines. That promise is a time box, a clear limit. If someone tries to rush ahead, I add 10 seconds, then done. Numbers calm people. And I keep that promise, so my next interjection is welcome.
In fast meetings, I use a turn signal. Acknowledge, reason, short ask. Totally agree on the risk. Because the deadline moved, one quick detail, then back to you. A turn signal is simply a cue showing where my comment starts and ends. It prevents the feeling of a takeover.
Family dinner is great practice. When the talk zigzags, I'll say, to piggyback on what Dad said. Piggyback means add support. If the table runs off on a tangent, a side path, I bridge. Before we drift, one tiny add. Light words, firm timing. Then I hand back. Over to you.
Quick recap. Polite interjections work when you signal entry, promise brevity, link to what came before, and hand the floor back. It's rhythm and respect, more than perfect wording. Steering back is like gently turning a wheel. In our planning meeting this morning, the chat drifted into lunch options. I paused and said, "Circling back to the budget, the key number is 12%, and the room snapped back.
That reminds me of a client pitch where questions exploded into side stories. I smiled and said, let's park that for a moment and return to the proposal outline. Parking lot just means we'll save the idea and revisit later.
How do you keep it from sounding dismissive? I worry that park that could feel like no. I've started adding a reason, to finish the proposal outline, so people know why I'm steering.
Exactly. I use 3 steps: acknowledge, bridge, main. Great point on costs, that's acknowledge. Where this connects, that's the bridge. Back to the outline, there are 3 sections, that's the main. It's respectful and directional.
I also mark the thread. My main thread here is timeline. Thread here means line of thought. When I label the thread, even fast talkers pause because they can see the path I'm keeping.
In long meetings, I'll drop a 1-line recap. Quick recap: we moved the deadline. The action is update the vendor. Recap means short summary. Then I add, continuing with the risks, and people follow the signpost.
If emotions heat up, I give space first. One breath, soft voice. I'm hearing the concern about delays. To finish the estimate piece, here's the number. Tone plus structure brings the conversation back without a fight.
Family dinner example. My brother jumps into sports. I laugh and say, as I was saying about the bus times, last bus is at 10:40. The phrase, as I was saying, is a gentle bridge back.
During Q&A, I answer briefly, then reconnect. Short answer? Yes. And this connects back to our original point. We need 2 weeks for testing. Connects back is a compass. It points everyone to the map again.
I sometimes swap phrases depending on the culture. Let's note that and return, or we'll bookmark it. Bookmark just means save it to revisit. Softer words can keep trust when the room is tense.
Quick recap. Acknowledge the detour, bridge with where this connects, or circling back, restate the headline, and finish the thought. One clear line beats 3 clever lines when time is tight.
Keep one bridge phrase ready this week. Write it down and use it once. Next, we'll dive into tone and stress, the sound that makes these steering moves land smoothly.
Speaking of that, tone can carry your message or crush it. In a weekly check-in, time was tight and I felt rushed. I lowered my volume, slowed my pace, and said, 1 minute, finishing this point, then over to you. Downward tone at the end made it sound complete, not combative.
I love that drop at the end. Yesterday on a project call, I smiled, literally, and it softened everything. I said, quick update, 2 lines, with a gentle rise on quick and a low finish on lines. That low finish is a signal. I'm closing, not inviting debate.
Stress matters too. If I stress the wrong word, people react to the emotion instead of the idea. I try. Light start, clear stress on the key noun or number, then a calm landing. Example in my head. The key issue is timeline, with a soft fall on timeline.
Quick note. Up talk, ending on a rising tone, can sound like a question. When I need confidence, I switch to a statement shape. I breathe out as I finish the sentence, so my voice naturally falls. Breath is a steering wheel for tone.
Pausing is powerful. In a budget debate, voices overlapped, so I paused 1 beat, lifted a finger, and continued. Continuing with the cost range, that small silence reset the room. A pause isn't empty. It's a cue that you're still driving.
And micro pauses help inside a sentence. I use them before the key word. We need testing before launch. That tiny gap highlights testing without extra volume. Less force, more clarity.
Volume versus pace. Lowering volume can feel calmer than speaking louder. I shorten my sentences when tension rises. Short line, breathe, short line. It stops me from sounding sharp and keeps my thought tidy.
At home, my nephew loves to talk over me with dinosaur facts. I gently touch the table, smile in my voice, and say, 2 seconds, with a slow, low finish. The smile adds warmth. The finish adds closure. It works even with T-Rex energy.
Little vocabulary check. Prosody means the music of speech. Tone, stress, rhythm. When your prosody is steady, even firm boundaries sound respectful. I sometimes record a voice memo and listen for that final down note.
And posture helps prosody. I drop my shoulders, plant my feet, and breathe low. Then I use an anchor phrase like, to wrap this part, with a slow glide down. Body first, then words. It's amazing how the sound follows.
Quick recap. 3 levers. Tone shape, falling, not spiking. Word stress on the key idea. And timed pauses that signal control. Combine them and your message stays strong while your voice stays kind.
Try one tiny change this week. A one-beat pause before your key word, or a low finish on your last word. Keep it simple, keep it honest, and notice how people lean in instead of push back.
Let's run a quick role-play set. A meeting, a phone call, and an everyday chat. We'll show how to hold the floor, enter politely, and steer back without friction. Ready? Scene 1. Team meeting.
I'll be the manager, Nina. You're presenting the timeline. I'll jump in midway so we can hear how you protect your point and still keep it friendly. Here we go.
This quarter, we've got 2 milestones. First, integration tests on the 18th, then...
What about the risks? If testing slips, we're...
One moment, finishing this point, then risks. Milestone A moves to the 18th. Milestone B to the 29th. That's the headline. Thanks, Nina. Over to you.
2 seconds. Appreciate the dates. Building on that, the biggest risk is vendor delay. Okay, back to you.
Quick recap. A soft boundary, 1 moment, a clear finish, that's the headline, and a hand back. Over to you. Short, calm, complete. Scene 2. A client call.
I'm the client. You're the project lead. I'll interrupt with a price question right as you outline the rollout.
We kick off with a 1-week pilot, then expand in May.
Hold on. What's the price per user?
Happy to answer. Short answer, $12. To finish the rollout piece, pilot next week, full launch in May. Circling back to your question, that price includes support.
Nicely stacked. Brief answer first, then back to the thread. Thread just means the main line of thought. Circling back guided me to the exact spot you wanted.
Mini recap. Acknowledge the interruption, give a short answer if needed, complete your idea, then reconnect. Scene 3. Everyday chat at a cafe.
I'll be your excited friend who loves side stories. Start with your travel tale, and I'll try to jump in.
So, my train was delayed 40 minutes, and when I finally got a seat...
Wait, the same line I take? Last week there was a singer on...
Hold that thought. I'm almost done. I grabbed a coffee, sprinted to the interview, and made it on time. Okay, over to you.
That hand back keeps it friendly. And piggybacking on your story? Piggyback means add support. I love that you still made it. Now, quick question. Did the manager notice the delay?
Final recap. 3 settings, same core moves. Set a gentle boundary, finish the key idea, then hand the floor back or circle to the question. Choose one anchor phrase you like, maybe "one moment" or "over to you," and use it once this week. Before we wrap, a quick recap. Today we focused on 3 moves that keep conversations fair and clear. Hold the floor when it matters, interject politely when you've got value to add, and steer back to your main point without heat.
If you try just one thing this week, pick an anchor phrase, a steady line you return to when the room gets busy. Mine is, to wrap this part, because it's short, calm, and it signals closure.
On Monday's check-in, I felt that old rush of voices. I breathed out, slowed my pace, and told them, 10 seconds, finishing this point. Then I landed with a low tone. the message stayed strong, and the mood stayed friendly.
Try a tiny plan. One phrase for meetings and one for everyday life. Write each on a sticky note. Mine for home is, "Hold that thought, I'm almost done," with a smile. The smile keeps it kind. The words keep it clear.
Buddy idea. Tell a friend your phrase and ask for theirs. When one of you forgets, the other can cue it with a nod or a hand gesture. It turns good manners into a shared habit.
And when conversations drift, I reach for, "Let's bookmark that and return." Bookmark just means save it to revisit. I drop my voice at the end so it sounds final, not bossy.
If you interrupt someone by accident, recover fast. I usually say, "My mistake, finish your thought and I'll jump in after." That's an apology plus a hand back, which rebuilds trust in seconds.
Practice in low-stakes places. Family dinner, a voice note to yourself, or a casual chat. Low stakes means low risk. The more you use these lines when the pressure is small, the easier they are when it's big.
Before you go, subscribe and share this episode with someone who deserves the mic a bit more, or takes it a bit too fast. Drop a comment with your anchor phrase, like, "One moment, finishing this thought," or "Over to you."
Next time, we'll handle lively panels and fast talkers. How to keep your calm and still get heard. Thanks for spending time with us today. Take a breath, choose your line, and carry your point with kindness.